Hey guys, remember MySpace? Remember Tom and how he didn't help fascists get into power because he wanted to be a news outlet without any moderators and base payment on clicks, so the biggest whoppers on both sides got ridiculous amounts of clicks and views, and people just thought they were news, and how MySpace didn't help in the Rohingya genocide because he didn't have any moderators who could speak Burmese, and so propaganda against an already brutalized ethnic minority went to genocidal levels probably not seen since the Rwandan genocide? Well, guess what? There's a way to relive that time. It's called Friendica. Welcome back to the Friendica tutorial part 4. I thought this was going to be a 3-part series, but it turns out there is enough for a 4th video, and this time I'm doing it pre-scripted for the most part, so it doesn't take hours to edit. So first things first, I give out some super old information about the security of your data based on my experience of porting data exactly a year ago. Turns out they fixed that big issue 1 to 2 upgrades ago. I was saying all of your old posts will be gone if you move to another instance. That's no longer the case. Basically, you just go to settings, go to export data, and click export all, and every single post you've ever made along with replies get downloaded. Or at least the replies appear to download from the code I was looking through. Just keep a folder, make sure your photos and videos you uploaded are saved there, and then export all once a week, and if your server collapses, you can just take that backup and move it all to another server. At some point when there's enough history for everyone, they will have to set up a way to ask for just specific days, and may urge you to do an automatic backup and a bulk file upload, so that you don't have to download all of your data every time you download, because that could get bulky and data sucking, but that is a ways off, and when there are more people on it. Until then, backing up once a week isn't a bad idea. That said, I recently downloaded 1 day of Facebook data, and it was 10 times my entire information for all my time on Friendica, and I've pretty much posted the same things on both sites. Most of the data is tracking and ad data, along with many of the saved pics and videos you've posted. That said, a lot of it is the fact that the HTML code is more complex, whereas Friendica uses BBcode, which is way simpler and lightweight. And they're introducing Markdown, that thing I wasn't sure about last time, which is even more lightweight and intuitive. Since all of your posts and data they download are in HTML, it's possible that there could be a converter created to convert all of your Facebook profile and posting data to Friendica format. But you know Zuck will do everything he can to slightly change the download code so the converter is rendered useless in a very short time, and the converter code would require a dedicated team to constantly keep up with all of Zuck's changes, so that would take a lot of work. Most of the other data you download from Facebook would be utterly useless in Friendica, as you have no need to track yourself or give yourself ads. So yeah, the biggest flaw in Friendica is no longer a flaw. Your data is safe if you just occasionally download and save it. So now that that's out of the way, let's get on with what I was talking about, MySpace. Why did I bring it up? Well, I recently watched a video on the rise and fall of MySpace, which was even admittedly by execs at Facebook, the superior social media platform. The problem became that Rupert Murdoch, yes, the guy who owns Fox News, bought it, and then refused to invest any money in it, just as the platform was reaching its limit and needed to be seriously upgraded, and then just milked it dry for everything it was worth, running it into the ground. Rupert Murdoch is kind of why we can't have nice things. Having that personalized homepage was a huge part of it. People loved that about the site and found Facebook dry and boring. I personally found Facebook at the time to be more useful to me, and then they became the only game in town, and suddenly they could do whatever they wanted, and we just had to deal with it. So after asking some of the people in development, it turns out that Friendica has this option called BBcode that can make your Friendica page just as if not more personalized than MySpace. So I was wrong. Friendica is not just a Friendica and Twitter replacement, it's a Facebook, Twitter, and MySpace replacement. It has the personalization of MySpace, it has the groups and social interactions of Facebook, and it has the global reach of Twitter. You just need to learn some very simple programming that is like a very dumbed down version of HTML, and you have a pretty awesome personalized MySpace-like page. You used to be able to customize your MySpace page using HTML as well. As more and more people get on it, I have a feeling they're going to have to create an app that will allow you to upload the different types of skins you may want to use for your profile instead of requiring your instance provider to control that. That will seriously make it more like MySpace. So I'll show you my profile and then give a side-by-side comparison with the code and finished product. Oh, and by the way, MySpace is actually back. Though now it's sort of if you were to take that MySpace profile and only merge it with, say, Bandcamp, Spotify, and music and pop culture news, and that is all. I really can't find a use for it myself, but, you know, hey, if you want to relive some of that nostalgia, it's there, and your old account kind of technically is still there, including your old contacts, but most of the data has been scrubbed. Anyway. Okay, so, as you can see on my left here, this is my profile. Got my full name, date, and look at this. I can even embed music videos like I could back on MySpace. And check this out. I looked back at some of the old MySpace pages, and this was the traditional question box setup that they have here. Now, mind you, I had to do this weird underline thing because apparently currently they eliminate white space, so I couldn't exactly organize it correctly. But they said that's going to be fixed in the near future once I told them about it. So you can literally do this MySpace. I'll put the code down here for it, and I'll update it once they fix the white space. And their political views, religion, zodiac, work, education, military is, I mean, you can add whatever you want, places you've lived, family, life events, languages, favorite quotes, and then there's the forums that are down there. So it's essentially MySpace if you want MySpace back. So that's pretty cool. There's just something about this whole lineup that just brings back a nostalgia of MySpace, and it's like, oh, I feel like I'm home, as opposed to on Facebook where it's just like, yeah, and that's stuff about me, who cares? And then of course you can put the background pictures and everything like that. So here's how we do it. You go over to profile details, display name, description, and then your birthday. Locations if you want it. I didn't put that down there because that's too much information about me for this channel. I'll probably put it in my personal. You can have private and public keywords, and then if you have a YouTube page like I do, or a page in general, then you put that there. And then you have your custom profile fields. Now this is where things start getting fun. So this is what's called BBcode, and you can find all the information on the stuff you can do with it. It's like an incredibly simplified version of HTML. So you can do bold, italic, underline, and in a previous tutorial that I did on this, I mentioned Markdown and I didn't know what it was, and it's an even simpler, more streamlined, and uses up less data version of BBcode. But currently that's only allowed in the comments, so over time they'll probably adjust that. You can change colors, put overline, underline, strike through, you put an image photo up, other logos. I don't know why this usually pops up the Friendica logos. You can change the text size, you can change your font, and there's a whole list of fonts that you can look up for BBcode. And right now it's kind of a pain, but this is useful while in development. So using BBcode instead of just making it blank and everybody can just look at it is a lot more useful to A, the developers, and B, the people helping them come up with ideas for development. This can give you a Friendica link, so if you want to share your instance that you're on, you can put that there. These are hashtag, easy, mention, those work. And these work in comments. So BBcode works easily in comments section, so you'll actually see the auto-generated BBcode whenever you post. And it was always kind of an annoying bunch of information that I didn't need to know, and at some point they'll make it able to be hidden or not. But right now, once you know what you're doing, it's actually pretty cool what you can do with it and adjust it and alter it. This is a way to make a hyperlink to your email, create a paragraph, inline code, multi-line code. This is for people who need to put like actual code in for programming. You can write a quote, you can write an author's name, you can center your text, which you'll see in my code that I did. This is a spoiler alert you can put around yours, and then a horizontal line. And then you can put different size titles. You can make tables, which I also did, which is how I made mine. You can have a table border, make lists, and these UL and OL is actually I found is used in JavaScript, and it might be used in some other languages as well. So some of this is actually basic programming that you could learn how to use. Anytime you put a video in, this is YouTube specific, so these are for video and audio files. There's some specific differences, and I have no idea what they are just yet, but I'll play around with them and figure them out eventually and maybe share them with you. See this iframe? There's a lot of different programs I don't use, so some of these are useful for programs that I just don't use. And then this is, you can just plug in a URL and it'll show the URL. You got maps, abstracts for longer posts, so there's several other things here. Yeah, you can just look through it. It's in the help section, really easy to find. Technically this And slash pre will allow you to like align your text a little bit better, and like it'll save white space, but apparently they didn't realize that, and apparently it just eats up all the white space. If you've got any spaces whatsoever, it won't align it, but they said they're going to fix that in the future. So yeah, so there's the embedded music. There's the embedded YouTube video. All right, there's the about me. And this, I'm going to include, let's see if I can expand this. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, you can see where this goes. You've got, this is how the block goes, and these are underlined. These U's mean underline. This is open, close, and then I actually did underline spaces to get this over here. Otherwise, it'd be all cut off at the movies thing, because I think that's the longest word in here, and just be like smushed all together. There would be no spacing, since pre doesn't work like that. So once that starts working, then I'll readjust it, and I'll also copy the script down to the bottom. We've got music, and you've got your out right there, close brackets for this line, and then the same thing with here, here, and here, and you can just copy and keep going. You could have the whole MySpace gambit back in the day. And then from here on out, everything's pretty much the same. Is there anything special about it? Oh yeah, I changed the font up here just to see how it works. See, works at work. Everything I haven't ever talked about on my channel is generic. So yeah, that's a different font right there. I guess that's the font called Scribble. Yeah, and this is a link for family, brother. I don't have any family on here because, once again, I don't have any friends on here either, because this is just too new a thing. But we shall see how that works in the future. So, yes, I think that's everything I need to talk about BBcode. Yeah, it looks like it. Alright, cool. So that, I believe, is the end of the tutorial. Once again, if I find anything really important and useful, which wouldn't surprise me, I'll go ahead and do another video on this. Hopefully this will be the last one in a while, but I keep learning brand new things because essentially the people making this are working their asses off trying to make it work, and they don't really have good PR going on. So I can't program, so I'm trying to do this sort of thing. Anyway, have a good one.